Tes tes. Pas sudah live live. Yeah, it's live. Assalamualaikum teman-teman. Hari ini kita akan main Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact and Chill. Chill aja ya, nggak usah kompe main Genshin tuh. Genshin itu game chill. Nggak usah kompe. Ntar kita buat jangan like and mulai polling. Ini rencananya sih lagi kecil ambil naikin Jayan ya. Kenapa naikin Jayan? Buat di tim Furina biar nge-heal cuy. Game audio belum masuk. Nah, udah masuk. Buat di timnya Furina. Keyboard lu udah banyak yang ghosting keyboard tombolnya anjir. Gue nggak tahu ini kabelnya apa switchnya lu.
The Temple of Wisdom. Stand with me.
Bombs away.
Shower me with prayer. Commit it to memory. Dissipate. Lightning purify.
Lightning purify. Main mastery. Crit damage. Copy chat ke OBS biar bisa dilihat. Oops. Nice. Thumbnail belum diganti coy. Maaf ya kak. Thumbnail belum diganti. Thumbnail Furina. Thumbnail belum diganti. Maaf ya kak. Streamer pemula. Maaf ya kak. Mana gamepadnya? Genshin. Nice. Boom.
Stand with me.
Panduan betul. Habis satu level kita daily dulu kali ya. Nggak ada arc mission jadi daily quest story tersedia. Banyak nih yang belum selesai. Dari zaman Nahida belum selesai nih. Turina belum. Kisah Oceanic terlahir kembali di tanah luka masa lampau. Pencuri terlupakan. Perjalanan meraih bintang. Dua lagi. Maksimal dapat 3. Terus 9 detik. Sabar ya, kita menunggu. Oh, ada musiknya. Dapat nih. Anjay. Nah, ini cara teleport biar cepat. Kita coba karakter. Ini belum pernah dicobain ya. Jadi langsung muncul deh bosnya. Tutorial tanpa bolak-balik portal.
Cool it.
Nice and spicy. Dissipate.
You're in for a little shock. Let's spark things up a little.
Don't get frostbite. Dodge this.
You're toast.
Bam.
Boba, get them. Our bond is strong. Out of my way.
Gila, damage ke area semua cuy. Cocok buat spiral ups. Cocok buat spiral. Kan bosnya muncul. Sangat praktis.
Time to shine. Stand with me. Just you wait.
Go.
Luar. Sakit juga.
Dissipate.
Tombol 4, tombol pad 2, tombol alt 2 pada rusak.
This may hurt a little.
Yeay. Jelek. Kurang 1 cuy. 7. Bebas. Kurang 1 kan. Jen. Kurang 1. Sama ini kurang 1. Daily. Jauh juga nih. Di fan. Orang lek kan? Orang lek. Synthesizer, ganti visual lah lebih.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Boleh. Burung camar. Oh, burung camar. Ngapain nih? Belum udah urusan. Seperti sih. Daily ngasih makan burung, cuy. Masih makan burung. Ya udahlah, kita buat burung aja. Serahkan pada traveler. Usir. Selesai. Wait a minute, like mine.
Hey! Let my name echo in song! By royal decree!
Duar. Ada efek apa? Anak selesai. Jauh tuh. Jauh. Ini ganti sayap. Ini berapa sih? Ini berempat, coy. 10, 3, 5. Friendship. Kalahkan semua Tenet Hero.
I see everything! Grow! Oz, reveal! Dissipate! I'll settle this! Committed to memory!
Hitung. I'm a superstar.
Time to shine! Our bond is strong! Out of my way! Hey! Grow! Midnight phantasmical dissipate! Strike a pose!
Strike a pose. I'm super shy.
Ad Astra Abyssal.
Ad Astra.
Thank you for
Abyssal.
completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Thank you, Catherine.
You have time. Ad Astra.
Nyari batu aja. Buat misi, buat bikin apa gitu. Kayaknya harus beli keyboard baru nih, cuy. What the hell? Udah update spiral abisnya, cuy. Kenapa nggak ada waktu ya? Kayak berapa lama lagi gitu banner spiral? Malas main TCP, TCG. Nah, kelar kan? Dah. Sudah semuanya, cuy. Event 9 hari lagi.
Tea parties are a must for the well-mannered. If you'd like to learn the proper etiquette, I'd be happy to teach you.
Ganti pegajian.
Ready for anything.
Ready for anything. Apa sih anjir? Ready for anything. Wow, pundak dia hantu.
Make yourselves at home.
Shower me with praise. Let the world come alive. Our bond is strong. All right, it's my turn. Lightning, go and fly.
Mati hidup. Brutal. Ini 20.000 udah rejain gue.
Strike a pop.
Strike a pose. Ya orang apa tadi? Nemo ungu 1. Nemo ungu 1. Nemo yang ungu 1. Banyak banget anjay. Mau apa karakter Nemo anjir. Nih. Kan karakter Nemo cuy. Filter Nemo. Banyak deh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doang. Masih bersih.
Although we
naik.
have peace, we must not become complacent. As the acting grandmaster, I must remain vigilant.
Aduh, iya. What the hell, resistance? Nggak punya anjir resisten loh. No way, nggak punya cuy. Masih lama nih. 80 ya anjir. Kepulangan. Misi ini dulu dah. Penasaran sama misinya itu. Udah tamat guys. Dan bagian 5 adegan terakhir. Rina dah terima quest. Kepada hari kemarin. Sekarang kita lanjut. Apa namanya? Ini quest apa sih namanya? Quest karakter ya. Apa nama questnya? Story quest. Story quest Furina.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions?
Hello,
Specifically one
Catherine.
with a huge more attack, perhaps? Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're all friends now, she gets it.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's right.
That's
Our
right.
adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job. There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe you
He's
can't
right
fill the
over
role
there.
yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon. Paimon approves! Let's go! Hello there! Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two! Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame. That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts. All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe. One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it. Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor, and I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Uang bukan masalah.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the more, that's not exactly rescuing the show.
Jadi
We
sekali.
should find someone who will put on the best performance possible.
Si itu aja.
Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
Gimana kalau si itu? Kebetulan aku juga kira si itu. Siapa si itu? Siapa si itu?
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have
Siapa
all the
si
free time in
itu?
the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds
Kalian
like
kepikiran
someone
siapa? Kok
famous.
kayaknya tersohor banget. Verina.
Her! You're... That was a joke, right?
That was a joke,
Nope.
right?
Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Farina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Katanya ingin
Well,
tampil
yes,
sesuai
but-
jadwal.
But...
Gimana sih?
Fair
Laut?
enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Farina star in our show.
Gimana sih
I'm
kamu,
sure the
Laut?
rest of the troupe would be delighted too.
Ayo,
I'm
kerjanya.
sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Dia nggak perlu lagi berlagak sok hebat kayak dulu. Tapi sudah lumayan lama juga nggak nyapa dia.
Thank you for your help.
Thank
I
you
guess
for
I'll
your
just
help.
stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
I will stay here and
Wait,
wait for
where
the
does
good
Farina
news.
actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but
Sekarang
she's
sebenarnya tinggal di mana sih?
moved
Dulu
out,
sih di
right?
Paris Memorial.
As it happens,
Kebetulan,
I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
kebetulan aku yang dicari. Ini silakan.
when did you get here?
Buset.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed. It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Farina. Back in a jiffy.
Thank you, ma'am. Kisah Putri Oceanic. Tanya pendapat Purina. Purina tinggal di mana sekarang tuh? Agak berat ya grafiknya ya. Kalau atas bayangan coy. Keren anjir. Anjir.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here?
She lives here?
Not that there's anything wrong with this place, it's just, a bit of a
Tapi
step
kan
down from the
levelnya
Palais
terjauh banget ya
Marmonia.
dari aja Verina.
You know, it's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Okay, when did Poppy Got a Thin Air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni,
Stop
so I went to
macaroni
grab a
berubah
few
habis.
more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Gak bosan.
Not at all.
Not
As
at
long as
all.
you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Danish.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my
rude.
cooking skills. The
Questioning
audacity!
my cooking
It's
skill.
not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too. Besides, I'm
Again,
sure I could
again,
master
bisa
dishes like
kita
letrofosilor
lalete
or
apa sih,
blubber profiteroles in no time
Blubber
if I felt so
profiteroles.
inclined.
Nggak cepat masak ya.
There it is. You don't know how to cook.
Nah kan kamu nggak bisa masak.
Not yet,
Lebih
maybe,
tepatnya
but...
belum bisa.
Anyway, what are you
Sudah
even
bebas.
doing here? I do hope
Menghina
you didn't
kondisi.
come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to
Sekarang
clown
ya, tidak
around,
terima tamu.
then please be on your way. Shoot!
Shit,
Sorry, we're sorry.
Sorry.
Please don't be mad.
jangan kesinggung gitu dong. Tensi amat. Paimon justru khawatir sama keadaan kamu.
Yeah, exactly. What the traveler said. Paimon was
Swear, Paimon bukan mau ngejek.
Hang on a sec. You weren't exactly holding back either.
Kami kesini mau ngobrolin tentang sesuatu.
My help?
Mau minta tolong nggak?
Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer
Vision
the
saja
mighty
tidak
Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry. It's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Cuma kamu yang bisa. Kalau lebih tepatnya, cuma
Oh?
kamu.
Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what
Lah iya,
specifically
anjir.
makes this matter
Di
so...
sini kan tadi visionnya
specific?
Furina sih. Sebelum Archon Quest.
I see.
Sebelum Archon
I
Quest.
knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse
Sebelum
yourselves at my
Archon Quest di
expense.
situ tadi.
After all,
Nah, di
I
sini nih.
was once the
Di
bright
peta,
bet,
di peta itu yang bawah
given
tadi.
the present
Tadinya
circumstances.
vision.
I'm
Vision
afraid I
Hydro.
must regretfully decline your casting request.
Tiba-tiba,
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
tiba-tiba jadi itu. Jadi
True, but I have
Jam
made
biasa
a
doang.
decision to retire from the state. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent
Menyenangkan
inhabiting that
perasaan
character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries
Bener.
of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was.
no way. Berpura-pura menjadi orang lain selama berabad-abad itu mengubah kepribadian. Aku sudah bukan lagi aku yang dulu.
Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again.
Dan tentunya sekarang sudah tidak bisa kembali lagi seperti dulu. Sudah terlambat, dan aku tidak ada niat untuk mengulang pencarian jati diri lagi.
But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Tapi setidaknya aku bisa bilang bahwa aku sudah tidak ingin lagi memerankan apapun. Kamu mikirnya gitu?
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Tapi ini kan cuma sekali saja, cuma gantiin orang yang lagi sakit. Masa nggak bisa sih?
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross.
Mau sekali atau beberapa kali pun aku sudah menentukan batasan.
If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
Jika batasan ini dilanggar, maka aku sama saja menciptakan jalan untuk melarikan diri. Kalau gitu, buat apa susah-susah bikin aturan?
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Jika aku tidak mau tampil, jadi aku tidak mau tampil.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare.
Baiklah, kayaknya percuma deh ngebujuk kamu. Ya, terus gimana caranya kita bantuin rombongan teater itu? Kasihan kalau mereka bubar begitu saja.
Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Mungkin kamu kenal aktris lain yang minat dan bisa dimintain tolong?
Nope.
Nope.
Short and to the point, okay.
Singkat padat jelas ya. Baiklah.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Aku tidak pintar membina hubungan. Lagian, semua orang yang pernah kerja bareng aku mungkin ingin aku cepat-cepat minggat.
Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Aku cuma rakyat jelata sekarang. Dijamin bakal dihina habis-habisan kalau minta tolong ke mereka. Jangan mikir negatif mulu ke orang.
True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Ya, tapi kan salah mereka juga. Muncul tiba-tiba lalu teriak-teriak memohon bantuan agar mereka mau tampil tanpa dibayar. Ih, ngeri. Baru dibayangkan saja rasanya sudah mau mati karena malu. Tidak bisa.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Terus kita mesti gimana ini? Pertunjukan ini berarti banget buat kita. Mohon.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would.
Apa aku ngomongnya masih kurang jelas? Kalian salah alamat. Aku tidak mau ikutan urus. Aku juga tidak kenal orang yang mungkin mau ikutan.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
Maaf, aku ngomong kasar banget ya. Sejujurnya aku juga ingin bisa membantu. Dan kalau tahu solusinya, aku pasti sudah bilang dari tadi.
It's alright, Farina. Paimon
It's
just wanted to
alright,
make sure
Farina.
we tried everything. Oh,
Paimon juga
everyone
cuma
in the
bercanda
troupe will
aja
be
kok.
so disappointed.
Duh, kasian deh. Anak rombongan itu. Cari solusi lain deh.
Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around, Farina.
Alright then. We see you around, Rina.
Toodaloo to you.
Mau rebahan. Udah gimana nih?
It's too bad, but we have to respect Farina's decision.
Kembali dan
Maybe the thought
ceritakan
of performing
pandangan
brings up too many painful memories now. Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
What's going on?
That's besides the point.
I'll ask you again.
Ruby.
Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Farina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't
Sadly.
having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Farina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Nah, udah selesai misi masa gini aja. Lah,
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because
tarik,
I
tarik,
realized
tarik,
I forgot a
tarik,
couple of items on my... All right, I'm coming.
tarik, tarik, tarik.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
You really have a knack for asking. I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue...
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Farina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that. And No need to keep addressing me as
Tenang aja
lady.
dulu.
Just, I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director. She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Farina. They were what first inspired her to get into music. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength.
Mm-mm.
Things were really looking up for us.
And then disaster
Um,
struck.
Yeah.
Terus,
After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can, but despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing, but ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
cuma aku itu berdampak.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken.
Sayang sekali seniman berbakat berasal dari latar belakang sederhana, meraih begitu banyak prestasi dan punya masa depan. Hidupnya harus berakhir dengan kehidupan.
I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Oh iya, terakhir ini selain kamu tinggal, juga boleh dibilang sebagai hadiah terakhir untuk dirinya.
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Kamu kangen banget.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Untungnya aku mengikuti traveler ya. Setelah mendengar kisah yang begitu tragis, aku tidak bisa tinggal diam.
Farina.
Surina,
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
aku tahu kamu mau bilang apa, dan tidak berencana melangkahi batasan yang sudah dibuat. Lagian, mereka sudah tidak mencari pemeran pengganti.
I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member.
Aku bisa memberikan sedikit arahan artistik berbekal pengalamanku yang sudah sering melihat dari bangku pembeli. Boy.
But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Tapi ya, kalian rasanya bisa membantu ya.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
Oh, yes. Tolong bantu kami. Dari kami Martina.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
Tapi kami tidak punya dana untuk bayar konsultan. Apa akan jadi masalah?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director.
Aku tidak perlu kompensasi apa-apa. Jadi kalau boleh, silakan ceritakan lebih banyak lagi mengenai hidup dan karya beliau yang tua kali.
Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epicles is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high.
Aku mulai menyadari itu sejak meninggalkan opera Epicles, yakni terdapat banyak sekali hal yang tidak dapat
The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but
hukum hanya mengadili tindak kriminal dan tidak menimbang emosi manusia. Putusan pengadilan adalah absah pelanggaran hukum, tapi
what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
bagaimana dengan emosi tidak terselesaikan para pihak terlibat di dalam? Semuanya meluap-luap, alir kayak tak terbatas.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time.
Jauh dari menentukan menurutku semua perasaan pulang ke lebih, tapi pelan-pelan mengobati seiring bergulir.
Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Misalnya, cara rombongan teater yang menghitung sini tuanya. Aku belum pernah melihat yang seperti ini sebelumnya, jadi aku ingin agar bisa memahami.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh?
Ih, kita hobi ngomong tis masih nempel ya.
You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
Kamu cuma ingin seru-seruan lagi, betul kan?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
Cih, tidak. Udah jauh nih.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Siapa yang kambing Paimon itu?
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Kamu mau ikut aku? Dari petualangan mendengarkan sebuah cerita. Aku berani kalau ada hubungan dengan tentang orang. Kamu
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Farina's performances, as of course we all are.
makasih banyak. Dua dan mar berat pertunjukan Nona Farina. Ini setuju.
All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Baiklah, ayo ikut tempat latihan yang biasa. Mohon maaf dulu sebelumnya. Tempat. Kamu gimana? Mana Hinda di rock. Iya. Iya, rock. Door. Wih, ganti-ganti. Ini ya. Masuk. Diam aja nih. Cun 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 cun. Ih, lucu banget tempatnya cuy. Humble, kecil dan
Lady
lucu.
Farina?
No. Nona Farina.
What's Lady Farina doing here?
Kenapa bisa ada Nona Farina di sini?
Hello all. Allow me
Hello
to
all.
explain.
Biar
As
aku
of today,
jelaskan. Mulai
Lady
hari ini,
Miss
Nona
Farina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
sebagai konsultan.
These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Farina on our behalf. I'm
Orang
sure they need
sebenarnya
no
adalah
introduction.
Prakasa yang datang ke Nona Farina mewakili kita. Rasa tidak perlu dikenalkan lagi lah ya.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Naskahnya belum beres.
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, and sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So far, so good. A classic tale. What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Farina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1, let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson?
Poisson. Where?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y. To Poisson!
To Poisson. Ayo kita ke Poisson. Dan apa di Poisson? Ke rumah gue lagi ada subwoofer yang dengar kamar. Dan seperti biasa di Indonesia, menutup jala demi kondangan, demi ego keluarga. Semua demi keluarga. Cari Paulo. Where's Paulo? What the hell? Ih, ada angin. Hook. Bow.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
All right. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
Nice try. Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending is one of the most important parts of the show. Even once he's done, it isn't final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Farina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take it over here, you!
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but
Any
it's a
better?
slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm
I wish
sorry
there
to
was
hear
something
that.
I could do.
Please,
I wish
must our conversations take such a depressing turn every
wish
time we meet?
something
We
to
all
do.
have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Harina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well,
Nah,
what
baik
do you
banget.
expect? I
Yeah.
am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Siap, bos. Siap,
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there.
Ayo, kita lihat.
I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Oke. Nah, kita menjadi temannya Furina. Temani Furina rehat.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. Yeah, I can tell people are watching me. I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Tapi Mama kaget kamu mau sendiri. Mungkin sudah agak bablas ya.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see.
Tidak boleh
How would
hanya
that make me any different from before?
tidak boleh hanya hal itu berbeda sama dulu. Itu
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move.
waktunya kita pindah.
How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of...
See.
I'm sorry. You
I'm
probably just
sorry.
wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind.
We
It's
don't
actually
mind.
refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well,
Great.
I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear
I
just yet.
appreciate your
I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be.
Ih, lagi pacaran cuy. Mungkin kalian juga bisa merasakannya. Tapi tahun-tahun yang kulalui dalam penderitaan dan kesepian itu satu-satunya alasan kenapa aku takut menghadapi masa lalu.
As I stand here by the ship, I can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind.
Dan saat ini juga berdiri di kapal ini, aku tidak bisa membuang bayangan air yang naik dari dalam benakku.
One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant.
Satu demi satu, orang-orang ditelan oleh air. Kehidupan dan kenangan yang begitu berharga lenyap dalam sekejap.
They thought their God would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm.
Mereka percaya dewa akan melindungi mereka. Yakin bahwa ketika bencana datang, kekuatan dewa yang maha kuasa akan meluputkan mereka.
And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true.
Dan aku memainkan peran itu dengan sempurna, hingga mereka semua percaya itu benar.
But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
Lalu air bah datang, dan Archon Hydro hanya bisa diam. Mau screenshot dulu. Takut sih.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You were only doing your duty.
Jangan kayak gitulah. Kamu dulu itu sedang melaksanakan tugasmu loh. Jangan menyiksa diri begitu.
I've had to go through so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated.
Aku harus melewati begitu banyak momen seperti itu demi melindungi kebenaran. Dan seiring berjalan waktu, semua terasa semakin berat. Dan aku semakin kesepian. Hanya ada aku sendiri. Screenshot kata mutiara.
Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne.
Pada akhirnya, aku sadar bahwa sudah tidak punya apa-apa lagi selain kebenaran itu. Aku menjadi sangat takut gagal, dihantui bayangan tertinggal sendirian, dan terseduh di atas takhta.
Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves.
Untungnya, kita berhasil menghindari kemungkinan terburuk. Tentunya berkat bantuan pahlawan-pahlawan seperti kalian ini.
Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom.
Semua orang bangkit mengembang tanggung jawabnya masing-masing. Aku pun akhirnya terbebas.
But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I
Tapi
have no further use to people.
kebebasan itu juga berarti bahwa aku tak lagi dibutuhkan. Tidak ada gunanya lagi untuk orang-orang.
I'm a would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Paimon gak nyangka kamu kayak gitu liatnya. Coba lihat kebebasan ini sebagai hadiah.
Reward?
Reward? Karena sekarang kamu bebas Karena kamu sekarang bebas mengutarakan isi hati. Kamu tidak perlu lagi merana sendirian.
I guess so.
I guess so.
Back then, I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in.
Dulu, aku mimpi punya teman curhat saja tidak berani.
I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was and exposing a secret I swore to protect.
Aku takut orang sadar siapa aku sebenarnya. Kemudian membocorkan rahasia yang aku lindungi dengan sumpah.
Believe in the Farina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust.
Percayalah pada Furina yang di atas panggung, karena dialah yang bisa dipercaya.
I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself. No one could be allowed to know.
Aku harus menyembunyikan semua perasaan, semua rasa penasaranku tentang kehidupan. Tidak ada yang boleh tahu.
That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
Itulah kenapa aku tadi bilang kalau aku tidak pandai menjaga hubungan.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Asu emang Paimon. Jadi itulah alasannya. Paimon kira kamu memang tuan putri dari sana.
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
Kamu kenapa sih hari ini? Terus sudah berusaha mati-matian loh ini. Boleh dong diimbangin. Nah, sudah dikeluarkan semua. Gimana rasanya? Mendingan.
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now,
Iya, dulu aku cuma punya kebenaran, tapi kini aku mau hidup kayak apapun Dan biarpun saat ini aku tidak tahu mesti arahnya kemana jalan.
at least the choice is in my hands.
Tapi setidaknya aku punya pilihan.
All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Oke, sudah waktunya kita balik. Paulo harusnya sudah beres juga nulisnya.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
Oke deh, kita samperin Paulo. Kemana? Mengalir kembali ke Paulo. Cincin, aku buta kan kayak. Lendap cuy. Yang biru itu apa biru ini? Ini lebih matching ini cuy.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
Come on. It's not every day we get to dine at Spina di Rosula's expense. Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good-looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole life battling the effects of ill health, and it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing
no.
again.
Oh no.
We're back! Could you maybe put your differences aside for a moment?
Ah, you're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead. Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right? We heard she's playing the Oceanid who turns into a human girl. What about you?
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
Yes.
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines too, like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom to the little Oceanid. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running our troupe, allowing us to devote ourselves fully to performing. It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated, they decided they didn't want me anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time. It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up. I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage. The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Farina.
Farina? The Farina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants to become a human, against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes.
Wow.
The people start to notice that all the fresh
Keren
water
banget
in
ya
the
ceritanya
surrounding
cuy.
area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover about her true identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
And then,
In the end, she makes the
And then-
brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who
No
hate
way.
her? Her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity
Kayak cerita
continues down the
Prima,
path
anjir.
to extinction.
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of... We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she...
The director was the kindest.
But doesn't the way she said
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since.
Vilma? The one...
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by.
Grief? Guilt, more like, because... Well, speaking...
What? You.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree. I did tell her how I felt once, but she said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never... Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to... I said, maybe one day in the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troop no longer required her... Well, maybe then she could... And now... That day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Vilma. We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But, funny you should ask though, you really do get what I'm going...
I certainly do.
Sangat.
Come on, everyone. I love
Ayo
thee.
semuanya. Kita berangkat. Kehidupan tetesan musik dalam lagu. Udah questnya. Jauh juga ya. Nyeberangi laut. Nggak ada battle-battle ya.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure?
No way, ada musuh.
As if this
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here.
Kan kita
We
sama
don't need to
diganggu
take a
Kak
detour.
Bro. Ini jalan.
Wait.
We're just curious.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium. Miss Farina said so.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all all my power
Tidak
is
ada
gone
lagi
anyway.
kekuatan
As much as it pains me,
memang.
unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more.
That sounded so smug. Ugh,
si
secondhand embarrassment is
Paimon mukanya
unbearable.
keren banget.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helpless.
Aww. Too
Sorry to leave.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Piece of cake. Anjay, gampang.
Yoo-hoo! Time to shine. How dare you!
Commit it to memory.
I swear by my sword.
This might hurt a little. Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh. I see everything.
Let the world come alive! Get with me!
Commit it to memory. Yeah.
Oh, bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Let's go.
Vilma, are you there?
Film more.
Oh, it's you guys.
Eh,
Wait, what's
kenapa
Lady
ada nama
Farina
tuh?
doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will... I care just as much as everyone else about making the little Ocean. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't...
Viamant, avoiding the truth will not help unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had...
I don't want to talk about it.
Listen, Viamant. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never... But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to say the little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an...
This is why people think of you as not... As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then... So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot with the drink in question was synth.
Sinte, cuy. What the hell?
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Sinte anjing.
I freaked out when but she didn't reprimand. The merchant was... I was going to sort it on my own, but I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then. And after the director disappeared, I got...
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger! What do you mean? You were afraid! This was a life and... How could you...
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered! She was the... And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut.
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back in my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight! Go! Get...
That's enough!
That's
You've
enough.
screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you! Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real life? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead
Dia tuh
role is the
sekambing
focal
pemeran
point
utama
of
dia
the
ya.
audience's
Akan jadi
attention.
sorotan perhatian
And you're
semua
all
orang.
used to seeing the director
Kalian
as
sudah
the heart
terbiasa
of the
melihat
troupe.
dia sebagai
But
jantung.
in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think if you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly. What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
I do.
It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did.
Really? But she sounded like such.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed.
I'm truly sorry.
It's all right.
So.
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, the end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and if you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind.
You really think that?
I trust that nobody.
No.
Well, we'll leave it.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
Palais
The rest of you,
Memorial. Palais Memorial. Siapa yang kita bertemu di sini? Apakah ada new village? Apakah new village?
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims? Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to.
So, this is all O'Reilly.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too!
Let me take a look. Maybe there's some... Aha! I found something. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind... If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then.
Lachey took so many lives.
I guess O'Reilly must have written all of this down in the hope that her wait, it cuts off. Her handwriting here gets patchier. Her final words are... I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Visionnya udah hilang ya. Ada yang tidak lagi sudah setuju ya. Ada yang coba kabur gagal di kelihatan lagi. Belum tentu kemarin sih sudah tidak. Maaf, tidak tahu penulis ini masih berguna atau tidak. Dan berapa lama lagi masih bisa menulis. Riwayat itu sudah kelihatan ujungnya. Tapi yang lebih mengerikan lagi, aku lihat ada orang lain dari rombongan di sini. Aku berhasil melindungi mereka kan. Maafkan aku. Dia tidak bisa. Aku demam. Langsung balik lagi. Tidak ada yang
She was so terrified.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, I can't bear to think how painful and wait.
karena aku adalah kakak mereka. Halaman-halaman berikutnya melanjutkan lirik. Namun satu halaman telah sobek, dilipat dan diselipkan di sebelah halaman kosong di paling belakang. Di bawahnya ada dua baris tulisan O'Reilly yang lebih bisa dibaca dan seperti dibuat dengan ambisi waktu yang lalu. Jika kamu menjadi manusia, jangan sampai rahasiamu ketahuan atau akibatnya harus kamu terima. yakni penderitaan dan fans untuk selama-lamanya. Apakah itu yang kamu
If you become human, you can.
Isn't that the most important line in the little...
Because I am an older sister.
Oh!
So she didn't regret her decision. Even, I'm sure this is what she had their utmost. Let.
panjang juga ya questnya. Setengah quest Arkon cuy. Quest Arkon tuh kan 3 jam ya. Ini udah mau 1 jam sendiri quest. Setengah jam hampir.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selfless...
Even in the last moments of her.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside...
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance. To make this a show worthy of... I won't ask for your
Then it seems.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching, if you want to move the audience with your music, you must and aren't human emotions. Love, hate. I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Farina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a during the curtain call. Please allow me to...
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Siapkan panggung.
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't...
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need...
Whoa, wait,
Whoa.
what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too...
What are you afraid of?
No.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll
Let's
take
go,
your silence
Opera.
as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Dream
Well,
come
then don't
true.
disappoint me.
Don't disappoint me.
If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on... Come on. We'll need to get
Come
the
on.
go-ahead from Nervilette.
Kita minta izin dulu ke New Village. Temui New Village. Because of you. Because of you. New Village di mana cuy? Kok nggak di dalam? Because of you. New Village
Hey,
lagi.
look at that. Looks like I guessed right.
You were just guessing.
I knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Farina. And you too, traveler and
I would like to book the Opera Epiclé.
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But the story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after... Yes. And this is the first time that I've seen you like...
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom. But I've developed a...
I'm truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life, now that you've regained some confidence.
Why would you suddenly...
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited. It would truly be a shame if...
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any, nor do I think it is any great... This experience is a case in point. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales.
Thanks, Nervalek.
Thanks you, Villain.
You are very welcome.
You're very welcome. Anjay, bolak-balik yuk. Fuck that, coy. Bolak-balik.
Good news, everyone.
Good
It's done.
news,
The
everyone.
opera epiclese, thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, we've had to fight a touching story. Now,
This is true.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, Fiamal and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few.
Wow, you two have...
Communication is vital to any good performance.
It's amazing. Even though for me...
Amazing.
Please feel free to give us any comments or...
Hey, Loic, get over here.
Yay. Dun, 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 dun. Ini lucu-lucu. Kita screenshot semuanya. Kalau ada item-item di
Cursed
layar
Cleo.
streaming, artinya gue lagi
She stole the
screenshot
waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
aja.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our
Teater
people
sih.
is to blame.
Teater. Nonton dulu.
How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful. Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
Kabaret.
everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to...
Hey, what's going on? You're... Oh
Lambo.
no, not again.
They've been getting less and less effective over time.
What? I thought they cure it.
I figured, whatever it...
How could you do this to yourself?
I'm sorry.
Lanjut.
I've let everyone down.
Semesta mendukung, cuy. Semesta mendukung Purina tampil kembali
This is
di
a conversation
panggung.
for another time.
Semesta
How can the show
mendukung
go on without its
Purina
star
tampil
performer?
lagi di panggung.
Miss Farina?
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're... Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more.
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Ternyata memang harus begini juga akhirnya.
Thank you, Miss Farina. I'm so sorry to put...
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault. No one likes regrets. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's parts by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me. What, in your opinion, is the reason?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped.
Well said. I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Yes sir, Verina tampil kembali. Let's go. Verina tampil kembali ke panggung. Gue mau nonton yang mau ngasih yang tadi dong. Ke Telegram. Dia langsung copy paste.
Is she here yet? Let's get here!
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Anjay. Anjay. Anjay, keren cuy. Anjay.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Anjay. Lah kok ada visionnya lagi? Shit, keren banget cuy.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Farina on the stage just now?
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills...
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, it's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule. It felt good.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Farina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
Oh, so it was Farina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
Yeah.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible,
Yes, I know the rule, but
Ah, terlihat.
it should still be applied on a.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Palingnya juga dimintain tanda tangan.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can
So
sign them for
easy.
me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Huh?
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how.
Let's go check on
Lah,
her as
Corina
soon as we
tiba-tiba
finish
punya
clearing the
vision
stage.
lagi cuy. What
Yes.
the hell tuh?
Plus, she'll definitely want to
Tadi
hear
kan
how the
kayak
end of the show went.
berlian gitu, bentuknya
If
kayak
nothing else, we can safely say that
aksesoris
we
doang gitu.
accomplished
Sekarang
what we set
vision.
out to do.
Kembali ke Dolphy dan Chloe. Yeay, udah kembali visionnya. Nanti kita cari tahu ya tentang visionnya Corina. Cu, curu, cu, curu, cu. Coba. Sudah selesai. Tunjukkan kabar kita. Ya, yang berdua-dua.
Ah, you're back.
You're right.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication.
How did the performance go? Was it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Farina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steam.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work, even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very...
Well, one way or another, I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect.
Blaming your bad luck again.
Oh, don't you start.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each
Saya
other.
sampai dulu bang. Cie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with.
Cie.
So, any plans for the next... After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through font. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out.
No, we should.
Yeah, it's what we all agree.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe.
Hey, don't just walk off!
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Farina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with me.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. What about you, Miss Farina?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me maybe Nervilette was right. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, But I do have yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress, but from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Anjay, dapat vision cuy. Selesai. Iya, Kurinai ada 2 anjir. Kurinai ada 2 cuy.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, and now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels
Kita cari tahu tentang visionnya Kurina. Ke karakter, biodata, kisah. Salon Solitaire. Ada tentang suara. Vision. Mana tentang vision? Tentang vision.
Once the ancient prophecy came to an end and everything was over, I fell into low spirits for a very long time. People who stand on the stage basking in the adulation of their audience must also bear the pressures of being in the public eye and living up to everyone's expectations. But I knew very well my person wouldn't be enough, and that putting on the act of a god would be the only way to satisfy their adoration. And at the end of the day, all I ever experienced was loneliness. So, there came a point when I loathed the very thought of acting and locked myself in my room. It wasn't until the moment I stood on stage and faced the audience again that I realized the anxiety in my heart had dissipated. The reason I can now stand before the crowd's watchful gaze is perhaps because I have finally started to act as myself.
Oh gitu. Cerita tentang vision ya. Vision Hydro. Pusat perhatian utama panggung pengadilan hingga tertangan di penghujung acara tertentu. Oh jadi gitu cerita Vision Euphoria. Kasih hadiah dari dewa ketika pertunjukan. Oke guys, sepertinya streaming kali ini sampai sini aja. Kita mau di streaming Genshin dan game-game lain. Oke guys, sampai sini dulu ya. Terima kasih semuanya. Bye bye.